This video is brought to you by creativesdothis.com, the new platform where real creatives share exactly how they make their money. I've spent the last day almost pulling an all-nighter trawling Reddit, Twitter, David's own potentially confessional lyrics, Discord logs and news sites. And what I've found is unseen information, allegations, and first-hand accounts surrounding this case. This one is genuinely insane, and you will not believe how the cards are stacking up against David. This is a once-in-a-decade conspiracy type of case that you will obsess over. So let's dive right into the insane case of David and Celeste. By the way, you're watching Dark Case and you can call me Jack. Just a super short intro today because a lot of people are switching off at this point. I love you all and stick around for more rare and unseen true crime cases, but now, on with the video. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was last seen on April 5th, 2024. It was a Friday night in Lake Elsinore, California. She left her home at around 9 p.m. She was just 13 years old at the time, and honestly not too much noise was made when she disappeared. Her family filed a missing persons report with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, and a flyer was distributed locally. However, Celeste never really made the news. Her missing case wasn't covered in national news, nor by true crime channels like me. Unless you already knew her, chances are you wouldn't have known that she went missing. Her name didn't trend online, she just quietly vanished. The flyer listed her height as 5'3", 120 pounds. She had dark brown hair, brown eyes, and was last seen wearing grey pants, a black sweater and Hello Kitty sandals. And it wasn't until September of 2025, nearly a year and a half later, that her body was sadly discovered. By then, nobody outside of her family was still even looking for her. She was found in the trunk of a Tesla that had been towed from the Hollywood Hills. The car was impounded after being left abandoned on a quiet residential street, and that's when staff at the Hollywood tow yard noticed a strong odor coming from the vehicle, so they called the LAPD. Inside the front trunk, officers found a plastic bag. Inside of that bag were human remains. The body was partially decomposed and dismembered. It had been there for quite some time, and when forensics confirmed the identity, it was revealed to be Celeste.
Her face was posted on missing person flyers and shared across Lake Elsinore.
My youngest one knew her from going to Lakeland Village. When she went missing the first time around, they put flyers around.
For more than a year, family and friends like this mom were desperate to find her. Now they have the answer they feared most.
It hurts. It hurts.
Missing since April of 2024, now found 17 months later, meaning she was now 15 years old. And the Tesla that she was found in, it was registered to none other than David.
The family lives on this street in Lake Elsinore, and today the brother told us that the family is all grieving. She said that they knew that she had a relationship with the singer David, but now they're trying to figure out how she ended up dead in his Tesla. Today's shock on Jamieson Street in Lake Elsinore after people here learned the news that their neighbor was found dead.
It's just really unfortunate to hear the news. I didn't find out till today.
This morning, the LA County Medical Examiner identified 15-year-old Celeste Rivas as the person who was found dead at a Hollywood tow yard in early September in the trunk of singer David's Tesla. The medical examiner is still trying to determine the cause of her death.
She was very lively and, at the time I wouldn't expect anything to happen to her like that.
Family first reported Rivas missing in the Lake Elsinore area in April of last year. Her mom posted this flyer on Facebook asking people to share it. She said she was desperate and worried for her daughter who had gone missing. After learning news of Celeste's death, family returned to their Lake Elsinore home today. Her brother told NBC News that he was aware that his sister knew the singer David. Matthew Rivas said when she went missing, she was on her way to see a movie with him, but never returned. Matthew went on to say, quote, she would leave with him and he would drop her off in that same vehicle that was supposedly abandoned. David is currently on tour, and his show tonight in Seattle has been canceled. After the teen was found dead in the Tesla, his spokesperson told NBC4 Investigates, quote, David has been informed about what's happened, and although he is still out on tour, he is fully cooperating with the authorities. As of now, the LAPD is not saying any crime has been committed. In a statement today, the department said, quote, "At this time, the LAPD does not have a crime classification from the coroner as to the mode or manner of death. Thus, we do not have any suspect information at this time." In Lake Elsinore, people are grieving because they have now learned Celeste is dead.
It's different when it's on your street, especially, but any girl, anyone missing and found dead is just awful.
When news of Celeste being found broke, most headlines focused on the car, a luxury black Tesla, one that had previously been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills, and one that was registered to a rising pop star. But online, especially on TikTok and Discord, the focus shifted fast. Because, in some circles, Celeste hadn't been a complete unknown. She had friends, followers and chat logs. And all of those digital breadcrumbs combined tell a very different story. One that began years earlier, and one that pointed directly to David Anthony Burke, aka David. Today's video is brought to you by creativesdothis.com, a groundbreaking new platform for creatives by creatives. I've recently joined their team because honestly, this is exactly what I needed years ago, what I still need today as a creative, but it just doesn't exist. Here's how it works. Photographers, potters, painters, jewelry makers, Etsy sellers, in fact, creatives and artists of all kinds, share the real secrets of how they make their money, their blueprints, their turning points, the exact tools that they use every single day. And right now, Creatives Do This is in beta mode, and they're looking for 100 creatives to take a quick 10-minute text interview. If you get in, you unlock lifetime VIP membership, which is worth thousands, plus cheat sheets, resources, and full community access. But heads up, over 30 of those 100 spots are already gone. So if you're a creative, whether you're side hustling or you're already global, you don't want to miss this. Click the link below or in the pinned comment and secure your spot now. That is www.creativesdothis.com. Screenshots began surfacing from Discord servers and old Instagram stories. Many have been saved and archived long before the discovery. Some of the earliest messages showed Celeste interacting with David when she was allegedly just 11 years old. However, I have seen others allege that they could have been talking when she was just 10. She called him David. He called her openly by her real name, Celeste. She joked about sleeping over at his house and messaging friends about their relationship. That word is a quote, by the way. I know this alleged relationship was not actually a relationship, because a situation like this would be grooming, and it would be SA if things went that far. And from the available info, it seems that it did. One message attributed to Celeste claimed that she had actually lost her virginity to David. Another said that she had a tattoo of his name, which friends would later say was on her ring finger. Multiple people who claimed to know her said that she believed that she and David were engaged. There is footage of David and Celeste streaming together, where it seems like she would have been 13 at the time. It also seems like he knew that this was a bad idea, because he is heard talking about wanting this stream to be deleted.
What's good, David? Big fan, big spot. Bro, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you.
I gotta sign with him if you even.
We
need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
When friends confronted David in Discord, or when they brought up Celeste by name, they were kicked off of the server. One user even alleged that he paid them to keep quiet. A photo even circulated showing David handing cash to a girl in what, according to TMZ, appears to be the same neighborhood where Celeste lived, in fact being just 0.3 miles or a 5-minute walk from her home. Whether that photo is 100% authentic or the story behind it at least, that remains unconfirmed. However, I'm sure as you are already feeling, the pattern was already being set. So Celeste wasn't just a stranger who somehow ended up in his car. She had been in his life. She had been on his streams. She had been in his chats, his photos, and his songs. It also appears that, allegedly, she had been in his house multiple times. David Anthony Burke, better known as David, is not your average pop star. He wasn't built through a label or the industry machine. Instead, it seems like he genuinely did build himself up on the internet. He started recording songs in his sister's closet in Houston, and he blew up when his track Romantic Homicide went viral on TikTok in 2022. He was just 17 at the time. The song is pretty short. It's dark, lo-fi, and deeply emotional. From there, he released Here With Me, which also went viral. Both songs have since earned over 1 billion streams on each. He quickly signed to Interscope and Darkroom, the same labels behind Billie Eilish. But David wasn't just another sad pop artist. He leaned into dark romance, into digital aesthetics, and to lyrics about obsession, revenge, and mourning. His debut album dropped in April of 2025, just 5 months before Celeste's body was discovered. He called it the Withered EP, and from there he booked the Withered World Tour. The stage had a kind of ethereal feel to it, all white and red roses. Some fans online said that each show felt like a funeral, and yet none of this was actually seen as alarming at the time. It was just part of the aesthetic, the branding, the kind of emo vibe. But after Celeste's name came out, all of this started to look different. Like maybe what he'd been saying and what he'd been doing hadn't been fiction. Maybe the whole time he had been writing about her, but just nobody had noticed. According to Celeste's friends and messages that she sent herself, her relationship with David started long before she disappeared, and long before it should have. Multiple screenshots, now archived and circulated across Reddit and TikTok, appear to show Celeste and David speaking regularly on Discord as early as 2021 or 2022, when she was just 10 or 11. David would have been 17 or 18. There are messages where Celeste tells friends that she stayed over at his house, and also disturbingly saying that he wouldn't take her home, saying that she was in love with him. So all evidence said they knew each other and knew each other well. Friends say that Celeste called David her boyfriend in chats, with one message even describing him as her fiancé. Others said that she was planning to marry him when she turned 18, a timeline that only makes sense if they started seeing each other when she was a child. When she was 12, a photo began circulating, showing her with a tattoo of his name on her ring finger. And from the information I can gather, it seems that she was wearing a ring over this tattoo when she went missing. However, that same finger and her entire left arm was reportedly missing when her body was discovered. However, this detail hasn't been confirmed by the police. But it is one of those things that's been repeated enough by those close to her that it's now just widely accepted. Her brother also allegedly tried to report the relationship, both to Discord and to local authorities, but he was pretty much ignored. One girl on Discord wrote that David only replies to fans under 16, and that older fans were always pushed aside. Another claimed that she confronted him directly in a server, only to then be instantly banned. There's also allegations that David paid some of Celeste's friends to keep the relationship quiet, and this ties back to that photo that I found on TMZ. But I want to reiterate, we don't know if that was indeed hush money, but it still seems like a lot of people around her understood what was happening to her, so it's very possible that that hush money may have been needed. Even though people close to her and people on the Discord did seem to know what was going on, it seems like nobody outside of the situation did. It all just stayed online, in these hidden digital worlds. However, the internet does not forget. If this was indeed a secret relationship, it wasn't really that well hidden. It seems like it was a weird open secret, in which Celeste seemed to be a recurring muse, because nearly everything David wrote seemed to point to Celeste, and not just in tone, but also in lyrics, in timing, and in one case even using her name. The song Romantic Homicide was released on September 7th, 2022, which was the day that Celeste turned 12. And yes, that is pretty weird, but wait until you hear some of the lyrics. They include, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. And, in the back of my mind I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. Do I love you? No, I hate you." Fans at one of David's concerts where he performed that song noticed something pretty crazy, saying that he allegedly changed the lyrics during the performance, where he didn't say "I killed you." He actually said "I killed her." That same week he performed the song Afterlife on stage, where mid-performance he broke down crying, and at one point he formed a letter C with his hand while sobbing. In another song, Decide, he sings about waiting 7 years for somebody to become his. And remember, Celeste was 7 years younger than David. When he was 18, she was 11. Here are some of the lyrics from Decide, where let me tell you, he's not helping his case. I cannot wait until I undo all my mistakes. Maybe then we can just run away. I know what the problem is. Save your tears, 7 years. You're the one that started this. Some more lyrics across his Withered EP include, Oh, are you still under the car? Stay with me, I know it's my fault. And after she went missing, he released a song called Ghost. And some of the lyrics from that song are, Oh, heaven or hell, we will meet. Lucky me just to have met. Torture me, I can't forget. He might have you, but I've got your ghost. And we both know that's the real you. And God knows it's true. I love you the most, but we both know what I have to do. Why can't I hear your heartbeat? She's so happy when she's with me. Leave me in this dream. Don't be nasty, let us keep this perfect memory. He might have you, but I've got your ghost. And yes, it's pretty poetic, but I must admit those lyrics did make me feel weird. Fans are now saying that these lyrics are a veiled confession, where he sings about being haunted, about someone slipping away, about jealousy, ownership and disappearing without a trace. Looking back, it's hard to say that these were just metaphors, because when you line up the dates and the lyrics, they just don't feel like complete fiction anymore. And back to the actual crime, the medical examiner said that Celeste had been gone for a long time. So long, in fact, that the cause of her death still could not be determined. But what we do know is that she had been disappeared. We know that she was wearing a tube top, black leggings, a yellow metal bracelet and metal stud earrings, and that she had the word shh tattooed on her right index finger, of which David has a matching tattoo that he got after Celeste went missing. The Tesla had been towed from Bluebird Avenue and Donny Drive in the Hollywood Hills. Neighbours said that it had been parked in multiple spots on the street before it was finally reported. The Tesla was registered to David Anthony Burke, and according to the LAPD, it was one of several cars that he owned, so it wasn't clear who'd driven it last. They also said that many people had access to his vehicles. However, shortly after the discovery, a home in the Hollywood Hills where David had been staying was searched. Police executed a search warrant and recovered a computer and other items. No arrests were made, no suspects were named, and no official crime classification was announced. Because without a confirmed cause of death, the case just remains open. And I want to make this clear once again, this entire video is all speculation, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty. The more that people have dug, the more it becomes impossible to just look away from this case. This wasn't just some secret affair revealed after the fact. It had been visible all along, and thankfully it had been screenshotted and recorded. It had been posted, talked about by friends, fans and even family. Celeste's brother and people from the Discord server had tried to report it, but they were just ignored, deleted or banned. According to one Reddit comment, Celeste's mother reportedly warned others that her daughter was dating someone named David. And of course they had the matching tattoos. There were the Snapchats or Instagram stories, the screenshots, the photos and the lyrics, but none of this triggered any action at all. Celeste then vanished and it would be 17 months before she was found. But by then, David's career had exploded and Celeste's story had just been buried and forgotten. Celeste, however, could not be buried. She was in the trunk of David's car. Who knows for how long? It's worth noting that the body weight when she went missing, compared to when she was found, had almost been halved. Whether that's through degradation or something else, who knows? Had someone connected the dots earlier, maybe this wouldn't be a mystery at all. Maybe this wouldn't be a case. Maybe Celeste would still be here. Whether or not the justice system catches up to David, whether or not he actually did anything, he still left a detailed digital trail. Were his lyrics a cry for help? Or was he bragging or flaunting what he'd done? What do you think about this case? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I found this one really interesting. Let me know down in the comments. Be careful out there, and I'll see you soon.